Well, you know, you have customers like eHarmony, which is not one of our clients, or Priceline, eDias, which is, and they are web businesses, and they're using television to drive people solely to their website. And Skin ID, which is a Neutrogena company that we work with, same thing. 95 to 98% of everyone who saw the commercial, you know, and was interested went to the website. So. Well, first of all, you know, as I said just a minute ago, every time you run a television commercial, you're probably going to get a 10 to 20, maybe even bigger, depending if it's a Super Bowl commercial, lift to your website. So once you have them online, you might drive them to another video. You might drive them to a click to call, do a call center, or live chat. There are lots of different things. Get coupons. You know, those are just 4 examples of what you could do once you drive someone to the web. So in essence, we're sort of channel agnostic. If I have a commercial, now you actually create it modularly so that it also runs on YouTube with a separate 800 number, so you identify it as coming from YouTube. So I think, you know, folks in the television industry would see it as competition, but the proliferation of the channels to us is an opportunity to capture anyone no matter where they are. And look, at the end of the day, the client's always right, the customer's always right. You got to just change with the times. Right, so you know, you're right. I mean, the Super Bowl was the largest viewed television show ever, of all time. And when you put that in context as to what you're reading, there's some disconnect, because all of us like to watch television. And the beneficiaries of that are the content creators and the stations themselves. And the stations have the ability to basically, you know, leverage the web and mobile in a whole variety of ways that a lot of other channels may not be able to. So yes, I think that the stations should be looking at it as a positive. And on the direct response side, a lot of them are able to monetize their time, you know, particularly in the morning weekends, by showing infomercials and then getting a piece of the sale. So it's evolving, but I think some of them are doing rather well, so it'll continue. So you asked a couple questions. I mean, by the way, I'm relatively new to television. I actually have my background's in the web, the sort of developing web companies. So, and I would say, as a whole, sort of the analytics and the behavioral understanding of television is probably 3 years behind the web, because the technologies, the fragmentation of the stations is simply different. But when it comes to affiliate marketing, the area, you know, because of our backgrounds, we're watching carefully are the video affiliate networks. So traditionally, it's a very sort of flat landing page approach. If you're a general, you know, I don't want to mention any of the company names, but if you're big in the affiliate marketing world, but the whole, you know, Hulu and Vimeo types of companies that you mentioned are now increasingly going to be video affiliate markets, which we warmly welcome, because it just gives me and our clients another opportunity to get to you and maybe to watch that television commercial again. So here's the key though, another good point is, a lot of affiliate networks from a traditional ad standpoint are on a CPM basis, a cost per thousand. Where it's really moving is a CPA type deal, cost per acquisition or action. And I think if the video affiliate marketplace develops that right away at the outset, they're going to be the beneficiaries of tremendous volume. So Mercury's a little bit different. We do a number of things. I mean, we go long and buy television time, sometimes overnight, in what is called the per inquiry market, the PI markets. And stations, they pay if there's an inquiry. We also do CPA and CPL deals on television. So if we're running your commercial, again, for blue shirts, and there's a lead, the funnel, right? We're talking about your funnel, the lead to conversion. You would pay based upon the number of leads that's generated. Or if you go deeper into the funnel, you pay on a CPA basis. So what's interesting is web folks think that what they're doing either hasn't been applied to TV or they've never thought of it. But it's really no different. You're trying to get, you're right, television actually was the forerunner. And now, in essence, what's happening, we think of the two are starting to collide. And that's where the big opportunity is. Now, bear in mind that the television market is probably a $75 billion market in the US. And if you were to look at You know, Morgan Stanley's latest figures, the web is a $28 billion market. So 75 billion, I hope I said billion earlier, 28 billion, both huge markets. Working together, they could actually be much bigger. So we're pretty bullish. Well, and CPA, and interestingly, you know, I talked about how sort of television was the forerunner, but the behavior, the metrics that the web folks have developed is now influencing television. So the TV guys are having to catch up to the way we've all done business on the web for, you know, arguably a decade. And I think the consumer will be the net beneficiary of all this, and the advertiser, because if everything becomes quantified media, which is how we see it going, they're going to probably pay less for a very targeted, real customer. And you know, that's hard to argue with that model. It's a good business. The future's great. You know, I mean, you have to stay optimistic. So we are. I mean, it's a tough economy, but the infomercial, sort of direct response world, I'll part on this. It's a counter-cyclical business, because unfortunately, a lot of us are staying at home, and so we're apt to maybe purchase more things online or via television versus retail stores. And as the economy is starting to come back, travel and tourism, we actually work with a number of groups here in Vegas, including Treasure Island. Hotels.com, Vegas.com. After a certain point, we all want to get out, and now those industries are starting to spend, and we're seeing sort of a natural influx of dollars. It's cyclical and counter-cyclical, so you have to play both sides to even out your revenue streams.